Two Arizona children killed by their own father. It's a tragedy no family should ever have to endure.
And now the mother of those kids is channeling her grief for change at the state capitol. She says the family court system failed her kids. Fox 10 investigator Justin Lum with the red flags that were missed.
The Monday before summer break. So I thought in my head, that's very strange. Why would they be absent? There's only 4 more days of that school week before summer.
There was no answer at the door.
I remember there's 2 police officers that came towards me and they said, "We're sorry to inform you, but all 3 are deceased inside." And yeah, that's when my world shattered.
So this on the left right here?
Right.
How do you make sense of it all when the person you once trusted more than anyone takes away the 2 people you love most?
This is a surprise police department. We're conducting a welfare check. Come out to the front door. Keep your hands up and open.
Hope Hooten is still picking up the pieces. Alec Mater was 7 years old. Lydia Mater had just turned 6.
Lydia, Alec, this is the police department. Come to the front door.
On May 20th, 2024, their father, 34-year-old Brock Mater, shot and killed his children before turning the gun on himself inside his apartment in Surprise near Bell and Litchfield Roads. But the warning signs came several months before. In October of 2023, Hope told Brock that she wanted a divorce following an argument. Brock responded by saying he was going to kill himself, according to court records. Then Hope got an order of protection against Brock, asking the court to not allow him to have firearms and in-person contact with her. A week later, on October 16th, family court records say Brock violated the order when he showed up to Hope's home yelling and screaming. Later that day, he took the kids out of school and brought them to a hotel. Court documents also reveal that Brock called police and reported having suicidal and homicidal ideations in fear for himself and the kids.
I started getting really weird phone calls from him that didn't sound like him. He was talking about biblical ideologies that we don't believe in, demons and cults, and that our marriage wasn't a covenant marriage.
Brock allegedly spoke of demons and cults after expressing that his church might be influenced by the Church of Satan. That manic episode resulted in treatment for bipolar disorder at a psychiatric hospital for 1 week. Despite this, temporary orders by a judge gave both parents equal parenting time and joint legal decision-making following a hearing in November 2023.
Do you feel like the judge that you had should be held accountable?
Yes, I definitely do, and that's why I am spreading awareness, talking about my case. I say his name out loud. It's Judge Michael Valenzuela.
In Valenzuela's orders, he wrote that to mandate supervision, he had to find that the children were in actual danger.
I knew that Brock was unsafe to be with the children, unsupervised, but my hands were tied because that was the court and that was their ruling.
6 months later, Alec and Lydia were murdered. In the Arizona legislative session of 2026, Hope is fighting back.
The court did not fully evaluate strangulation, coercive control, suicidal or filicidal ideation, and acute psychiatric instability, together before granting unsupervised parenting time.
House Bill 2995, the Alec and Lydia Act, would force courts to prioritize safety over equal time. It requires judges to make written findings on domestic violence patterns, using police records and medical history as primary evidence. Republican State Rep Lisa Fink is sponsoring the bill.
It acknowledges real-world abuse patterns, intimidation, isolation, financial control, threats, and technological surveillance. This is a significant correlation between coercive control and homicide and suicide.
After that evidentiary hearing in 2023, Judge Valenzuela wrote that the evidence considered in his decision included case history and exhibits like text messages between both parties. Hope believes that if a law like HB 2995 was in place during her custody battle, Brock's mental health crisis would get a much closer look, and he would be legally barred from unsupervised time with their kids. Court-appointed doctors evaluated Brock Mater as the divorce proceedings went on for months, all while sharing equal parenting time.
Court notes that the evaluation looked pretty comprehensive, and ultimately There were some recommendations made about follow-up care.
By April 2024, Judge Valenzuela determined that there were no safety concerns as long as Brock was compliant with treatment and medications. A little more than a month later, Brock murdered Alec and Lydia before killing himself.
It looks like all of our worst fears have been realized at this point.
We reached out to the judicial branch of Arizona in Maricopa County to see if Valenzuela could comment on what transpired. The court responded by saying that Brock was supposed to provide hope with proof that he was taking prescribed medication, and since no further motions were filed after April 2024, they had no grounds to restrict his parenting time, adding that, quote, domestic violence and serious mental illness are among the most complex and difficult challenges that families and courts face. The court takes those responsibilities with the utmost seriousness.
I believe that in cases that have been known to the courts where murder, suicides, and other horrible things happen, that those judges, that those names and those cases need to be out in the open. They need to be publicized.
Professor Dale Cheka of Albany Law School is an expert on family court and studies filicide by fathers. She says research has shown that joint or sole custody is awarded to fathers accused of domestic violence around 70% of the time.
The most dangerous time for a victim is after separation. What you see is families, a victim or the perpetrator will go to court to get a custody order, and courts' failure often to either have time for or to really interrogate what's actually been going on and what patterns of violence and other control is going on.
Hope keeps her children's memory alive by advocating for change at the Capitol. Instead of being angry, she's grateful for the years she spent with them.
It was great being their mom, and I'm so blessed to have the time that I've had with them to watch them grow.
I'm Justin Lum for Fox 10 Investigates.